Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
He has time.
He's got him. Side touch is there. Leaping grab. Touchdown. Touchdown.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Ken and Rob in the morning. The other Ken is unfortunately in the middle of a hurricane right now, so we may see him, we may not. And good morning there, Yoli. Glad that you're with us already.
Sorry, I had to rejuvenate the coffee cup.
Oh, you're good. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm good. How's everybody? Good morning. Welcome to the greatest show in the morning.
You got that damn right.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, man. Let's talk football. What are we going to do?
Well, seeing as how there's a game tonight, we should probably be getting into that.
Man, this is a controversial game.
Yeah.
Some people think Cowboys get right. Some people think it continues and Daniel Jones and what's his name?
Malik Neighbors.
Malik Neighbors keeps going off. Good morning, Yoli. It's Yoli, Yoli, Yoli.
What do you think's going to happen here, Rob?
Well, I mean, this is one of those games where it's a divisional game, rival game. So, is it in New York? It's in New York, right?
Yep.
East, yeah. So, I mean, this is one of those where they could bite the Cowboys in the ass. They could not be looking past this one. Plus, there's like heat between CeeDee Lamb and Dak. I mean, bro, there's it is a fire sale like we thought in Dallas. I don't even understand. I don't know what's going on. They spent a lot of money on that quarterback and wide receiver, and they're not getting allowed.
There's a lot of talk that if this game ends up getting dropped to the Giants, that Mike McCarthy might be massively on the hot seat.
Yeah, bro. Of course. Every loss stacks up. I mean, they're supposed to be. I mean, bro, they were were they not the number 2 seed last year?
Yep.
I mean, they got knocked out in the first round by us. I mean, their first round. It's not looking good, bro.
Oh, and hello there, Mr. Homer Simpson, JB.
JB.
The best part about that is they both have the same amount of hair.
Right.
I love you, JB. I just got to screw with you.
Dun, dun, dun.
But no, do you seriously think Mike McCarthy is going to end up getting fired in season?
Oh, for sure. I mean, bro, it's happened already once to him. I mean, Jerry's a type of owner, bro, that, I mean, if he's not getting what he thinks, he's going to make a big production. You know, Jerry doesn't do anything small. So I would think he'd make a spectacle of firing him. You know what I mean? I think it would be he's going to take this personally. He's running this multi-billion-dollar corporation into the ground by his bad coaching. So obvious. That's right, bro. I'm telling you. I guarantee you. I'm surprised he doesn't have to run his playbook by Jerry. Let me see it. I want to know what plays you're running.
Well, if McCarthy does get axed, who the hell is going to replace him?
I mean, bro, everybody says Belichick's going somewhere else, but I mean, I don't know, man. If I was Belichick, I'd want some of Jerry's billions.
Yeah, but do you really think?
What's up, John? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning there, Dorn. Do you really think that Jerry and Belichick could coexist?
I mean, bro, I want to think that. I mean, Belichick has been with some. He's been with some teams. So I mean,
Yes, and two of those teams he's been with, he absolutely refuses to coach with.
yeah, but he ran pretty much everything when he was with those teams. I mean, I mean, it's hard, man. I mean, these days it's a little more. Everything's on social media, so you know.
Well,
I mean,
Belichick's on InstaFace now.
yeah, he's got like the youngest girlfriend in America.
I wouldn't phrase it like that. That makes
Well,
it sound horrendous.
You know what I mean, bro. I mean,
He's got the biggest age gap going on.
yeah, there you go. The age gap. That's what I meant to say. And,
I was going to say, at least when it's phrased like that, it sounds legal.
I mean, I'm not saying she's not legal because clearly she is, but that's just weird. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that Belichick's going to go there.
I mean, who else could go there? Who else is out there? I mean, seriously, who else do you think is going to get back into coaching? I mean, Harbaugh came back, so I mean,
yeah, I don't think you're bringing anybody new in at this point of the year.
well, who do you bring? Who do you bring in that you could bring up? Morning, Joe. Welcome to the
Morning,
show.
guys. Ken out because of the hurricane.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Brian Schottenheimer is their offensive coordinator. That is who I think that they would end up giving the nod to for the interim. Because I don't think there's any way in hell you give it to Zimmer.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't give it to Zim. Are you kidding me? The defense is part of the problem right now. There's no way you give that guy control. He can't even get going. What he's getting, what control what he's got in charge of now. I mean, shit.
Yeah, and like JB just said, no one of current merit wants to coach for Jerry. That's why I think he'd have to promote his offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he thinks he.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that there's somebody out there who wouldn't mind coaching for Jerry.
Who?
Yeah, but to finish the year, I mean, do they fire McCarthy in the middle of the year?
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not to finish the year. Like that's, you know, you
That's what
never
we're
want to.
saying.
You never
I
want
mean-
to start another man's safe game. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Ken's saying the offensive coordinator, they just promote him up, make him the interim.
Well, it makes the most sense for continuity. Like just to finish out the season, you don't have to implement a new system and everything. But,
Right.
you know, I doubt it changes much.
Or do you just ride it out and let the embarrassment continue? Because all you really do by naming an interim coach is you just take the pressure off, because everybody could say, well, they lost their coach, you know, and you could just wash the season away like it never existed. You could say, oh well, it's just after they spent all that money on Dak and CD, just crazy.
I think the Cowboys still make the playoffs, man.
Really, you do?
I do.
I mean, the season's not over right now. They're 1-2, so it's not over. But if they lose to the Giants, is it over? If they lose to the Giants tonight, is it over?
No, to me, no.
1-3,
because 1 and 3. I mean, like if you're looking at traditional like NFL history, that would tell you that it's over, right? But the Cowboys are too talented of a team to not go on some type of run, and I just think that, you know, they may even halfway through the season be hovering around 500, like a game or two below 500. But all it's going to take is for them to go on a bit of a streak, you know. I mean, 10-7 gets them into the playoffs, dude. Like in their division, it might be even less, you know. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
So
go Pack, go there, Phil.
Everybody knows the coach is not the problem. What's the problem then, man?
Yeah, Frankie, what do you think the problem is in Dallas if it's not the coach? Good morning there, Matt.
I mean, it's coaching problems. It's the DC sucks. The head coach that calls the plays is. I mean, look, everybody's like, oh, well, they almost won that game. Bro, they shouldn't have had to come back all in the fourth quarter. It was 22-6 going into the fourth quarter or some shit. It was ridiculous. They had to score all them points like that. Why should you have to do all that? And why did it take you all game to fucking actually move the ball? I mean, I'm sorry, man.
No,
Baltimore played not to lose. They didn't. I mean, it's not like the Dallas defense took over or they did something special, because they didn't. Baltimore just had such a big lead. They're like, let's ride it out. Let's just hold on to it. Let's just do stupid shit. They ran the ball, they worked the clock, and they won.
Rob, I think you raise an interesting question. Like, what is the real problem in Dallas?
I was going to say, Frankie's a Packer fan. Then you know the problem Mike McCarthy brings. He's had the same playbook since 2005.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that McCarthy, they let him stay on this year, honestly.
Yeah. His offense is stale. His offense has gotten stale. He doesn't adjust. He doesn't make good adjustments, I don't think, anyway.
Okay. But do you think that that's the biggest reason that they're 1-2, possibly going into 1-3?
Yeah, I think it's his decision to. I mean, it was his decision to get Zimmer in there. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, like,
you went back. You asked me.
I'm not telling you you're wrong, Rob. I'm just asking what you're.
Yeah, no, I understand. What's up, Jason? Good morning.
Yep.
What do you see as being the biggest problem right now in Dallas?
I think it's the coach. I think it's been. I said they should have fired McCarthy last year. I mean, he did
that
same
miserable
thing
and dismal playoff performance.
Bro, he did the same thing in Green Bay. And what got him fired? What got him fired? He had a bad regular season. As soon as he has a bad regular season, they're going to be done with him. This is it right here. This is it. I'm telling you, he's going to get cut in the middle of the year. Watch.
So you don't think? See, I think hiring Zimmer was a big issue.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, if you look at how much of a step back that defense has taken from last year.
Micah who? Oh,
right.
Micah who? I don't know if you know who you're talking about. I don't even know they got a guy on the team named Micah Parsons. I mean, you haven't heard his name at all. I mean, what the fuck?
Which is horrendous because he's one of the best defenders in the league.
Bro, he was the most ferocious, one of the most ferocious guys to be feared. I mean, holy cow. But I don't know, man. Non-existent. I'm just saying, man. If the Cowboys don't do something drastic today, they don't show that they got control. If they don't show,
I think it's more than one issue, man.
Oh, I do too.
I don't think it's just Mike McCarthy. Like, McCarthy's still running McCarthy's system, but it's.
Well, I think Jerry kind of set the tone for it all, man, by sitting on his hands during the offseason and wait until the last minute to sign CD and letting him sit out on during all the controversy they went through. I think Jerry put that. He should have just signed these guys right away if he was going to do it. I mean, what changed from the time that the season ended to the time he signed those guys? What was different in there? I don't know, man. You still signed those guys. You knew that was your plan. You weren't going to let them start the season without a contract. And all it did was create hate and controversy inside your organization. And now it's reflective on the field. Nobody's got no continuity. They're I don't know, man.
See, that's what I'm saying, Rob. I think you're pointing out a lot of reasons why the Cowboys are in what appears to be a tailspin right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think any one reason is the reason. Like, you lost last year, you lost Pollard, you lost what was his name? Your backup or your second receiver, Gallup.
Yep.
You lost Gallup, you lost Pollard, right? Like, you never really replaced him. You replaced him with Zeke, and you expect your running game to be effective, right? Like,
that's the other thing that's so funny. They signed Zeke, and they also signed what's his name? The ex running back from the Vikings.
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook. and they're not even using them. They're leaning on Dowdle. Dowdle is now their like lead running back.
Right. So
Why did you sign those two
a
has-beens, bro? Why did you sign those guys? It's just all signs point out. Why bring trash back into your organization? They were trash when you let them go. Why bring it back?
I think
that doesn't bring a winning
situation.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I have no faith in Dalvin Cook, but I think Zeke is washed as far as being a starting back. But I think that he could definitely contribute in short yardage situations and like goal line situations. So I can understand bringing him back on a cheap contract, like to be your short yardage back. But like my point is they got rid of Gallup, right? They lost Pollard, so they had no number 2 guy in either the running back room or the wide receiver room. They hired Zimmer as defensive coordinator, which, I mean, what happened to their old defensive coordinator from last year? Did they fire him after that pathetic playoff performance?
Like Jeremy says, Jeremy's breaking it down, man. Holy cow. He's right, man. They fired their captains. They didn't replace these guys. They didn't. They're emotional leaders. These are all guys on the team that did stuff for them.
Yeah, and so I don't think I'm wrong here in saying that it's not one thing. Like these are all things that because team chemistry is a weird thing, dude. It's like, if you change one guy on that 53, but that one guy happens to be one of your emotional leaders, like it can cause your team to take a slide, dude.
So who's this on? Is it on the GM? Is it on the head coach? Is it on who fires in their organization? I mean,
technically, his son Steve Smith or Stephen Jones there is their GM, but it's still done by Jerry.
So he's done.
Yeah.
So there's got to fall. The axe got to fall on somebody. I mean, McCarthy. I don't know how much control he has, but he clearly, if he hired Zimmer, I mean, that right there in itself to me is a bad decision.
A fireable offense.
Yes, very fireable. Are you kidding me? I mean, LaFleur owned hiring Barry. I mean, when Barry fucked up, LaFleur took over the play call, and he had to. He owned it. I mean, I don't see McCarthy owning this.
I was going to say, you don't see him owning anything, at least when it devolved in Green Bay, he didn't either.
Yeah, I mean, he was like clueless in the end there. I hate looking clueless. And I feel, that's where they're coming to. It's like, what's going on? What's the answer? What's the reason? Well, I mean, ultimately falls on the head coach. To me, anyway, what happens with the team, everything that operates with the team, the decisions, all that, coach.
And also think about this. Like, I'm not saying that this is true because I don't know their psyche, right? I don't know. I can't read their minds. But every year it's the same story with Dallas, right? Good regular season, get to the playoffs, lose in the playoffs, first round. Like, maybe after doing that so many times, you sort of start to overlook the regular season. Like, oh, well, we don't really have to worry about this part because, this is the easy part, right? Mm-hmm. Like maybe they're looking ahead to the rematch with Green Bay in the playoffs and they forget to do like the little things like put one foot in front of the other. They forget that, hey, we actually still have to play hard for a whole regular season to get to the playoffs. I don't know. And I mean, that's something that can easily be fixed. And I think, if that is one of the issues, is just that complacency of thinking that, we're a playoff team, without earning it, like a couple of losses in a row will take care of that,
Yeah.
They'll realize real quick, like, oh, we actually have to play hard in these games. Like,
Eric.
I think there's a good number of reasons why the Cowboys are appearing to be in a tailspin. And if they lose to the Giants, like,
that's what we're talking. That's what started us on this. We're like, what if they lose? What if this? I mean, how long does McCarthy have?
Well,
Not long.
I don't think the Giants are the worst team in the league, though.
No.
Like they
No,
have
they're
some, they have talent in some places. They just don't have talent in enough places.
Neighbors is keeping them in it, man. Neighbors is keeping them.
Neighbors
You know, like that dude's going off.
Hey, every game that dude plays makes me look smarter. Because what did I say?
Bro, he's going off, bro. He's
did I
literally
say?
having the best year.
What did I say during the draft when we were like going back and forth about Marvin Harris? I said I think Neighbors is the best one in the draft.
Yeah.
I think he's even better than Harrison because he can do things that Harrison can't do. You know, like, or I won't say can't do, but we haven't seen him do. You know,
It doesn't seem to have the drive to do. That's what gets me about Marvin Harrison is he's not as much of an attacking type of wide receiver as Malik Neighbors. Yeah, he's a very good finesse receiver, but I want my number one guy out there being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, when you week one, I mean, everybody. I mean, well, you guys look pretty 3 games, and no one's knocking that. I mean,
Man,
but you're ready to get that first L though, Luca.
Eric's got the Giants 27-24.
I really would not be shocked if the Giants win it.
It come down to first of all, and it always play each other hard.
Dallas could set a lot of things right by coming out and just blowing the doors off the Giants tonight. Dude.
And that's what they have to do.
You think that's what they have to do?
To get some of their mystique back.
Or if it's not a drubbing, clearly they have to drub these guys. At least I think so. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah. Either that or Dallas could possibly be looking at third place in this division.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I think drubbing them would go a long way to like rebuilding your team's confidence and stuff. But like, do they have what it takes to drub them? At this point, I mean, you're just desperate. You need a win. You know, like if you're Dak, you just want to win, whether it's by 1 or by 25. It doesn't matter. So a win will get you back on track. You know, but like Ken said, you know, the mystique is gone with Dallas right now. People aren't looking at them like, oh shit, they might put 40 points on us. They're looking at them like, oh, the giant has fallen, you know, like now they're vulnerable. Let's eat them.
I mean, it was go ahead. My bad.
I was going to say, absolutely, since Dan Quinn there had left and gone to the Commanders, their defense doesn't seem to have that edge anymore. And the whole team isn't hitting like we've been used to seeing them just almost layups for them offensively.
Yeah, they lost a lot of their number 2 guys in both the running back room and the wide receiver room, like, you know, and I don't know. I think their focus, they need another wide receiver, like a top flight wide receiver, you know, and they need to work on their running back room. And then, I mean, their defense, you still have talented players on your defense. But that's one of the bigger reasons to me is why is your defense not performing when you have the same players you had last year?
It's got to be Zimmer. We saw it with the
That's what I'm pointing at. I'm like,
yep,
what's the change? Like, what's the difference here? Like, you kept your defense the same, right? As far as personnel wise. So,
like McCarthy, Zimmer was good a long time ago, and his message, I think, has gotten very stale, and nobody's buying into it anymore. That he doesn't seem to be able to galvanize these guys around him. And it could also be with the lackadaisical approach that Jerry Jones took to the offseason. The players might have been, well, if you're not going to go out and put in that extra for us, why are we going to keep freaking putting this extra out and breaking ourselves down to win all these games when we know we'll either get into the playoffs and get bounced out or just miss it?
But Jerry really couldn't, though, because he knew he had to pay CeeDee Lamb and he had to pay Dak. There wasn't really any money to go out and get some high-priced free agents. Like,
I'm not even saying high-priced anybody.
Yeah, I think he realized like he was going to be up against the cap already, with just signing Dak and because he knows what they're asking for. See, that's the thing is we don't know what they were asking for, and we know what they got in hindsight, but we don't know what they were asking for and what the negotiations were and everything like that. So, and also like I think McCarthy, I think there's something to your point, Ken, about maybe the team is losing confidence in McCarthy. Maybe they're starting to think like, yeah, he can get us to the playoffs, but he can't get us over that hump. Like they really should be blaming Dak, but they're not.
I honestly don't even know if I'd fully put it on Dak. I think it's the combination of the limitations he has at quarterback when it comes to crunch time with Mike McCarthy's limitations of the shitty clock management, the nonsensical play calls at the worst times. I think it's just almost, oh God, I can't think of the phrase that I'm trying to come up with, but it's almost a perfect storm of the bad shit that could happen for the Cowboys.
I don't know, man. I think you're letting Dak off a little easy. Like,
yeah, I honestly,
because when I watch games, Dak is the biggest reason to me that they lose. Like, because every playoff game, he throws these costly interceptions. Like when the game is close, and then it's not close. Like
I get what you're saying, JB, but to me, they're not in the same boat because most people expected the Giants to either suck or at best be a middle of the pack team. Where
I thought their absolute ceiling was middle of the pack.
Yeah,
and that's that's everything goes right. With the Cowboys, you expected them to win 12 or 13 games this year.
Yep.
Like even with Malik Neighbors, that's how I figured they might win 5 or 6 games because Malik Neighbors like balls out, like those were my expectations for the Giants, but because Danny Dimes is Danny Dimes, dude. But
shit, with Malik Neighbors, Danny Dimes doesn't look awful. I mean, he's not somebody that you're going to pick first to be your quarterback, but it's not one of those, oh my God, here we go, we're definitely losing. It's, we're probably going to lose, but he might pull it out.
I think JB's right. Both head coaches are on the hot seat. I think both. I mean, unfortunately, someone wins and someone loses, and either way, this is not good for either coach.
I don't know if the Bulls 100% on the hot seat. I think
they sucked the last. I mean, he's been their coach
this
for 3 years now.
This was his third year.
Yeah.
The first year he took him to the playoffs. The next year, I don't think he's on the hot seat yet, just because. Like the first year he took them to the playoffs. Last year, everybody expected, well, they made the playoffs last year, but then Danny Dimes got hurt and, tore, like, I think it was an ACL, right? And it was against the Raiders too, like tore an ACL. So it's like from that point on, you're starting scrubs at quarterback. I don't even remember the dude's name. It's some Italian dude. Tommy DeVito or something like that.
Go.
Yeah, Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, dude.
How can you forget about poor Tommy Cutlets?
Tommy Cutlets, dude.
Luke is right, though, man. Dak is supposed to carry the team. That's what these big quarterbacks get paid to do. That's why they gave him that money. Dak should not be waiting till the fourth quarter to have a fucking surge in points. You know what I'm saying, bro? You literally wait until the fourth quarter to show up the play. And if it wasn't for the onside kick and everything else, I mean, and the Ravens just playing run, and I mean, They didn't try nothing. They were just playing not to lose. That's all they did. Cowboys looked better than they should have, even in that game. It's like the Bear game, bro. Same thing. Caleb Williams, he thrives in that prevent defense, and the Colts were playing not to lose the game. They had a big lead already in the first half. I mean, the Bears were non-existent the first half, and then the second half. That's because they went into prevent and let him fucking. He took what the defense gave him and he racked up the yards. That's just how it is, man. I don't know, man. These guys, they ain't got it figured out yet. None of them.
Hey, and JB, give Tommy Cutlets a chance. He might end up being the starter at some point this year.
Still Daniel Jones. It is. He's right, though. It's still Daniel Jones. Is it any different? Is the guy any different?
Tommy Cutlets, I don't think
He's got better wheels.
Yeah, I don't think he's even as good as quarterback as Daniel Jones is. But when he comes in, he gives that team an extra spark.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe's got some internet issues.
Yeah, in and out. And T-Law right out. Yeah, no.
Stupid internet. I guess I'm having a freaking hurricane too. No, but
what do you think? Is Tommy Cutlets the same as Daniel Jones?
No. Daniel Jones.
They're saying
Daniel Jones is better, but I mean, it's like you're comparing dog turds to cat turds. Like,
turd's a turd, bro. A turd's a turd. I don't care where it comes from.
Turd. No matter how much you polish it, a turd's a turd, bro. Like,
turd's a turd, man.
See, but I think what I really think, like I said it in the offseason, I said that Jerry should go ahead and trade Dak because Dak is fool's gold, man.
Yeah.
Dak he's like Dorn loves to talk about the fool's gold Lions, but nobody's calling Dak fool's gold, and I really think he is, dude. Like I also said it that I think, once the playoffs start, you should just bench Dak and bring in your backup. It'll give you a better chance to win.
Yeah.
Like let him throw down in the regular season and get his 30 touchdowns and all that, and then the second the playoffs start, it's like, hey, Dak, it's been real. We'll see you in April, bro. Like,
well, we're glad to see the bear down from Ken. We know he's making it through the hurricane right now.
Oh, there he is.
Tommy
Okay. Cutlets. It's all he's got. He's got X on his.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, Jeremy, is that I didn't think he should have signed him to the big money deal. I thought he should have traded him or even just let him walk. But I mean, at least like maybe sign him to maybe a sign and trade kind of situation. Like let him know, like, hey, I'm going to sign you, but then I'm going to trade you. Find a team that you wouldn't mind going to. And
who wants a $60 million Dak Prescott?
Oh, there's somebody that wants a $60 million Dak Prescott.
Well, is that you out in Vegas?
No, it would not be me, but it might be my GM. I don't know. It's not me, for sure.
What you want, Dak?
I'd want Dak for the season. I would tell Dak the truth. I'd be like, look, Dak, you're fool's gold in the playoffs, bro. So here's what we're going to do. Like, I'll give you $30 million to run the regular season, and then I'm going to take 15 and I'm going to go get me a decent backup to play for the playoffs. Carolina would definitely take him.
Oh, with the way the freaking Red Rifles playing down there, they might not be taking them. Shit.
Hey, I would hold off on that take, Ken. The Red Rifle had one good game.
Bro, come on.
Wait and see how he plays this week.
I was gonna say I'm trying to give the guy a little bit of credit here. He's
looking. Watched him fail in Chicago miserably. It's no different.
Bro, give him credit. Give him credit. He whooped our ass, but like I want to see it 2 weeks in a row before I start saying he's back. Like.
Wait. He's back. He was ever here to start with.
Well. Yeah, before I start saying he's here, then I want to see it 2 weeks in a row, dude.
Yeah, Right now he's the poor man's Joe Flacco.
You know, JB brings up a good point. He says he couldn't trade him. The fans would have mutinied, but I don't know, man. Like, maybe the fans would have been pissed, but so what? Like,
Yeah, JB ripping you, man.
so what? So what if the fans are pissed? They're still going to buy tickets, man.
Do we remember how bad the Cowboys were in the late 90s and early thousands? They were having some trouble filling that stadium there for a little bit.
Yeah, but if Jerry comes out and tells the fans straight up, look, I traded Dak because he's fool's gold, dude. Like, he's not going to win us a Super Bowl, and I'm in it for Super Bowls. Like, as a fan, you should respect that. Like,
it's Dallas fans. They're going to go absolutely ballistic unless you replace him with somebody better.
Got to bring someone in. That's the whole. You've got to bring someone in.
Are we about to get abducted by aliens or some shit?
No, something's going on over in my neighborhood. Like, it's this loud sound. Sounds like somebody's running. I don't know what it is, a skill saw or something.
Okay. I was going to say shit.
I don't know what that sound is, to be honest with you.
Either that or it's a nuclear warning alarm, and we all need to duck and cover under our desks.
Yeah, it's the trumpets letting you know your doom is imminent.
Well, if we start to see Joe rising up, we'll know we're screwed.
Oh, it's a sander.
Man, what the
This
hell
dude is
kind
running
of sander is that? Motherfucker 4 foot wide.
Looks like a sander.
Are you kidding me, bro? They really believe that?
Oh, no.
How can anybody believe that Mahomes is not better than Dak? Would you take Mahomes or Dak? I'm taking Mahomes all day.
Yeah. It's not even close.
I'm taking Mahomes 9 out of 10 times. I mean, I'd have to be hitting my head or something to why I'd take Dak over him.
We would, but Dallas fans, I 100% think would take Dak. Would you take Mahomes or Love?
Mahomes.
Still taking
I'm
Mahomes.
asking Rob for a reason.
I'm still taking Mahomes, man.
Jeremy,
Okay.
I'm still taking
Jeremy, like, I'm over here listening to a didgeridoo concert or something. Oh, my goodness. Wah, 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 wah. Dude. It was crazy. Yeah, I would take Mahomes. Like, as much as I hate him, you know, after he won us a couple of signs in my heart to like the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would too. I mean,
would
I
you
love
stop
Love,
calling him, would you stop calling him Kermit at that point?
oh no, that's too funny. It's just too funny. That stuck with that guy for life, bro.
I would definitely
Looks
not
like- he looks
stop
like,
calling him Kermit, but I would do it affectionately. would
Oh,
go
thanks
from,
for
like-
winning us the game, Kermit.
Now, it would be like, you know, it would be like all of a sudden the name, instead of being one to like make fun of him, would be like, you know, it's one of those things like you're kind of clowning him, but you're doing it out of love, you know. But that's only after he won us 2 or 3 Super Bowls. So,
One's not good enough.
actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm getting greedy. One Super Bowl would definitely be enough. I haven't seen one in my lifetime, so yeah, one would be enough. Like, there's actually times where I sit there and pray, like, God, just let me see one before I die, man. Like, I don't want to go my whole life and never watch my team win a Super Bowl.
Didn't the Raiders win Super Bowls in the 80s?
Yeah, but the last Super Bowl I was 1 year old, so
Oh, okay.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, Joe wasn't.
okay, I got you.
Joe wasn't in the football mind when his team was in its glory. He wasn't a sound football mind when his team was in their glory.
No. And then we got so close.
Lions fan who's anything, or even playing, even the Vikings, man. The last time the Vikings were in Super Bowl was the 70s. I mean, how many of the Viking fans have been around that long? They're like my age.
What's up there, man hour?
What's up, man?
The Vikings have been close to
Mahomes.
You got that right, JB. Yeah, no Bears fans.
All of a sudden, Ken's gonna fucking find his emergency
Yeah, all of a
internet.
sudden, yeah,
called
Ken
in.
shows up. Man, hour, you jinxed us. Nah, Ken's all right. I mean, but you're right, bro. Sometimes the
Hey,
Bears
so
fan-
the Raiders got the Cleveland Browns this week.
oh yeah,
That's
how you
gonna
feel
be
about
a-
that?
How are we gonna say what do you think's gonna be your outcome for that game? There you go, Ken.
Bite me, man, hour.
Oh, you knew it was gonna happen.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
I don't know, man. Like that Carolina game really
Wow.
shook my confidence in the team.
Man, hour still believes Cowboys still going to the Super Bowl this year. No way, bro.
The Raiders seem to play either up or down to the level of their competition. So it's going to be, it depends on how Deshaun Watson plays. Like if Deshaun Watson plays good, I think the Raiders will play good.
This is granted. This is a joke, but it's also kind of serious. Has Deshaun Watson played good in Cleveland yet?
He wasn't bad last week.
Okay.
It's trash, bro. It's because they're calling for his
He
head. They
wasn't
want to
good.
get rid
He
of him.
wasn't bad.
He's
I
trash.
don't. Yeah, I agree, but I'm just saying, like, I think last week was a wake up call for the Raiders. I'm hoping it was. Like, you get spanked, not just beat, but spanked by the worst team in the league. Like, you gotta go home and have a soul searching session after that, dude. Like, what did I do wrong? So I don't know. I think this is a chance for them. It's a good get right game, but Myles Garrett is an absolute beast, and I'm worried about that because our offensive line hasn't played terribly well, and so I could see Myles Garrett having a 5-sack game. I could see that.
I can also see Minshew throwing a couple interceptions this game.
Isn't their tight end still out too? Like he's their best offensive weapon.
Oh, Njoku.
Honestly,
Amari Cooper. They have Amari Cooper.
They're not.
Well, I will say Amari Cooper did have decent numbers last week.
He caught a nice deep ball.
But that was it, bro. Well, he's out of the first 3 games, he hasn't showed up either.
You know what? The thing with Amari Cooper, though, and I hope that the Raiders, they should understand this better than anybody. Amari kind of guy that if you get physical with him, you can shut him down, dude. He's never liked people that get physical with him. I knew it his rookie year when Adam Pac-Man Jones took his helmet off and slammed his head into it, and Amari moved into a shell after that. Like I was like, oh no, like this. He's a he can make.
Well, I was going to say there's a lot of receivers that would have got shut down after that.
But I mean, he didn't have his concussion, but it was just the fact that he was physical with him. Like every single play, he had his hands on him. He was pushing him around, and Cooper didn't like it. And Cooper is not physical enough of a receiver to fight that. He gets bullied, and so. I'm hoping that Jack Jones just goes over there and bullies the shit out of him, dude. Like,
there and he had an egg. I mean, but and I didn't understand why
It is
they walked away from him.
I was going to say it's because he had freaking CD there, or he always had somebody else paired up with him in Dallas. It's not like out in Cleveland where it's pretty much a one-man show.
Here in Cleveland wasn't bad either, like terribly. I believe it's way a year.
Yeah, I just think Cooper gets bullied. Like he's in factors. So if the Raiders can bully him,
Talking wide.
if the Raiders can bully him, I like our chances. But we're gonna have to double and triple team Myles Garrett. So, it's gonna be. Honestly, what I'm hoping for is I'm hoping Minshew throws to Brock Bowers a lot because I think Bowers can eat their defense up, dude. Like if it's me, I'm going in with a plan to target Bowers at least 10 to 15 times.
I was gonna say that definitely wouldn't be a bad game plan for him.
Yeah, because then you have Michael Mayer too. Like it would be a tight end heavy week for me. Like I'd let my tight ends, do the work. And then if Devontae, because the Browns corners, the Browns defense is really good. So Devontae may not be open, dude. Like Andy's been dropping a lot of balls. I don't know that I have the confidence in Devontae right now that I want to like put those big game throws. I don't know if I want to make them to Devontae right now. I think I want to give somebody else a shot.
Oh,
well, actually, as much as I'm not really a huge fan of Minshew, he has thrown to the tight ends a lot. Actually, Brock Bowers going into last week had like the second most catches in the league. Like he's been targeting him. But I think this week this week should be the Brock Bowers show, in my opinion. And I say stop. Like you couldn't run the ball against Carolina. You're definitely not going to run the ball against Cleveland. So just don't even bother with it, dude. Like just go out there and throw 50 times and try to win the game. They see something in him. And honestly, I think what it is that he's more mobile than O'Connell. O'Connell is a statue in the pocket. I like the way O'Connell throws better. I think he has he has a stronger arm, and he can actually like zip the ball in there. Whereas Minshew's passes seem to be like floaters, but like when it comes down to pressure, O'Connell can't escape for the life of him, dude. And I think that's what it is they just feel that Minshew's mobility gives them a better chance to, stretch plays.
so are you saying, man, hour that AOC's locker is full of a bunch of baby oil?
Oh, the new daddy. When he said the new Diddy, I'm like, damn, so he's a child molester with like, right, man. Actually, Raider fans, we love him, dude. We call him Farva. The leader of Cola.
That's fucking awesome.
What's up, chicken fucker? It's because of the stash, dude. We call him Farva.
Yeah. Oh,
it's like
I knew exactly what you meant as soon as you said it.
Dildo, we're not the 49ers, dude. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, this is time for my public service announcement. Of any van that says free candy, there's never any candy in that van.
No, but there are some fetters on the wall. Some iron shackles.
Oh. And they don't even put any pads on the shackles.
Dude. I wonder if Minshew's van is tricked out with like a leopard print bed that rotates and shit. Got like a lava lamp in there.
God.
Jeebus. Man, talk about going off the freaking rails.
We do have
Shit, I think.
What do you guys think about that game?
What, the Cleveland and Raiders?
Cleveland and the Raiders, yeah.
It's a get right game. If it doesn't happen, you guys suck.
Oh
It's a
yeah.
fair take.
That's just the straight up of it. You better whoop their ass or you suck.
Well, if Antonio Pierce is taking in that booger sugar, he needs to start doing a little more and get angry at some of these guys.
Booger sugar.
Booger sugar.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Peruvian marching powder.
Devil's dandruff.
Yeah, hey, I agree, man. Well, I won't say there's nothing wrong, but I had my day, and the problem is there is no good Coke anymore. It's all cut with fentanyl.
Yep.
But you used to be able to find some fine stuff, man. Especially in the Bay Area.
I was gonna say New York wasn't too shabby either.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because it's like one of the distribution hubs for the cartels. So we have a list just like Deadpool.
Yeah. Between Joe and I think we can come up with just about every nickname for it.
Yeah. Oh, that's not even half the names.
Well, it looks like we're all gonna have to go to manhour.co.
Not me. I almost blew my heart up on that stuff one time. I'm done. My jersey's on the wall along with the straw.
Mine's not on the wall. It's hung in the locker room. That maybe if there's a good reason, I'll throw that jersey back on.
Yeah.
You didn't die.
I started to think I was Tony Montana for a second.
Oh, Jesus.
No, really, because I at the time I was slinging it, dude, and I had like a quarter pound of it on me. And so I would just like dump a gram on a plate and just blast a whole gram in one shot, like not even rake it up, dude, just blow. And dude, yeah,
God
I did
bless you too.
that. Actually, that's the time that I almost blew up my heart because I did a G and then I was like, I don't really feel like I'm where I should be right now. So I better just do another G. And I did another G within like 7 minutes. And then all of a sudden they both hit me at the same time. And I was like, oh boy. You know that meme of that
off
dog?
the rails, man. We're talking about
you know that meme where that dog's in the house that's on fire and he's like, this is fine.
Yeah, that was Joe.
That was me, dude. Pouring sweat, like,
As you can literally see his heart beating out of his chest. Hey, I'm cool, guys.
this is fine. Exactly. Say hello to my little friend. Dude, I had a buddy like he was no fun to do it with because like after he'd take like a G, he would sit there, he'd lock all the doors in the house and he wouldn't let you leave, and he'd go grab his stun gun and he would just stare at the door and like, they're coming. And then you'd be like, you'd try to talk to him like, dude, let's go like meet some girls or something. He's like,
not gonna happen.
We called it Revis Island, dude. He would go to Revis Island by himself. But see, the funny thing is he wasn't by himself because you were there with him, but like you kind of had to be, you know. Lions lose to Seahawks. I don't think that's impossible, dude. The Seahawks are 3-0. They're sneaky good.
Yeah, they are, but I still don't trust the Seahawks yet.
It's Gino fucking.
That's exactly why I don't trust them yet.
Fucking Gino.
Dak throws 3 picks and they lose by 4.
Well, man,
that's a plausible scenario.
The Cowboys win 14, so I don't know.
Vikings beat Packers by 4.
Well, that's how you know Manhour got into the Coke.
I don't know. Are you feel really confident about that game?
Do I feel
really confident?
I mean,
no,
I feel
but do
confident.
I think we can win with love? Absolutely.
Love.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that you should be afraid or anything, but I'm just saying, like, are you going into that game 100% thinking you're gonna win, or like? Because to me, it's like I'm looking at that game like that's going to be a dogfight, dude.
Oh! It's going to be a dogfight.
And it's
But Yeah, but I'm gonna give it an 80% chance.
I mean, Aaron Jones.
And that's definitely infused with some homerism. But I think that McKinney is going to be picking off Sam Darnold and keeping his streak alive, and that's what's going to be the difference maker.
Okay. Jordan Love also is just coming back from injury, so is he going to be a little rusty? Like he hasn't been practicing?
Well, he's been practicing the past 2 weeks, and then
oh, has he?
Yeah, and
I thought they were keeping him off that leg.
Nope. He's been jumping around on it. He's got pretty much his regular mobility back with it. And then before last game, the announcers were even saying, watching Jordan Love warm up, they thought he was going to be starting that game.
Well, yeah, that it's going to be an interesting duel, man. Like Darnold's been playing really good ball, so. But
I'm not taking that away from him. I just think that McKinney's going to be able to snag one from him.
And I don't think that you're crazy for thinking that. Like Darnold hasn't really made too many mistakes, and so he's due.
The Packer defense is averaging.
Is averaging what?
3 turnovers a game.
Yeah. Well, that could be the difference. And also Josh Jacobs. Like, how does Jacobs play?
Turnovers already.
And Aaron Jones. Like, how does Aaron Jones play? The running games are going to be.
I was going to say what it might come down to is which running back fumbles the ball, because they both are known to fumble it in key moments.
Yeah, but if I'm being honest, I think Aaron Jones has fumbled in more key moments than Josh Jacobs has.
Yes.
So, like, I think Jacobs would win that battle.
And with how bad Jones is going to want to rub it in the Packers' faces about them releasing him and him going to the Vikings, I think it's going to be just enough to where he's going to want to do that little extra. And when he does that little extra is when he fumbles.
Yeah, is Addison playing?
He's still questionable.
That's another thing. Like if Addison plays and he's close to 100%, that's, or I won't even say close to 100%, but if he's good enough to go, like, that's a big task for your defense, man. Like you guys got a good secondary. Like
I was going to say, especially if Addison isn't 100%, I think Stokes can cover him and get the majority of the win share out of that. Granted, do I think that he'll be able to make some catches on Stokes? Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be anything, horrendous.
I'm really looking forward to the Jair versus Jefferson battle.
Oh, you better believe it. I'm going to be sitting there with popcorn for that sumbitch.
It's going to be one of those back and forth ones. I think like I think Jefferson will probably catch a bomb on him early in the game and gritty on him. And then like later on, Jair's going to pick one off. And then like, they're going to, it's going to be like,
it's going to be a duel of the gritties.
It's going to be a duel. Like, and it's going to be like one of those games where it's like, does Jefferson get over 100 yards? I think that's going to be one of the determining factors in the game is like, because Jair has shut him down at times, but then there's times where Jefferson has balled out on him. So what kind of day is it going to be, Jefferson, man, he's been catching deep balls every week.
Yep.
I mean, that's part of the reason Sam Darnold has been so good is because he's been throwing 60-yard bombs to Jefferson, dude. He says keep it short and fast. Nickel and dime, like dink and dunk on that Packers.
I was gonna say that would be the strategy for beating the Green Bay defense is to just slowly, methodically, just get it up that field little by little. Because if you sit back there, our pass rush is going to get there, whether it's the defensive line or the linebackers getting in, and then you're giving our secondary an opportunity to position themselves for these takeaways. But if they are playing that dink and dunk shit, I think it massively limits our opportunity. Because
Darnold's been doing that, like with his stats are like 19 of 22. Like he's been, completing a high percentage of passes. So that actually kind of seems to fit into
Hey, we're
what the
over,
Vikings.
bro.
Oh,
yeah, it is that time.
on that terrible take.
Yeah, on that terrible take of Joe, we want to thank everybody for watching, especially thank all you for commenting. You have yourselves